Gerdau Special Steel North America at Fort Smith would like to welcome you as a visitor. This brief orientation is intended to introduce you to the steelmaking and rolling processes, but most importantly, to make you aware of the importance of safety and environmental practices in the workplace. Gerdau is committed to creating a safe work environment for all visitors and employees. Now, we would like to start off your orientation by introducing you to our general manager.
Welcome to Gerdau Fort Smith, one of the safest, most productive SBQ facilities in the world. My name is Chris Sharberg, and I'm the General Plant Manager. On behalf of the 500 employees here at Fort Smith, we welcome you. We want you to enjoy your tour. We also want you to understand our core value, which is safety. Safety for you and safety for everyone on site. During your visit, if you see an opportunity for improvement, please let us know. For additional information on our plant's productivity and efficiency, please contact your host. Again, enjoy your visit, be productive, and above all, be safe.
Our plant utilizes state-of-the-art equipment and technologies to make and roll steel for our customers. This equipment has been engineered to operate as safely as possible. To keep you safe and clear of hazards on the tour, please follow the instructions of your tour guide. Please stay alert to signs, overhead cranes, and moving equipment in the area. During your visit to the mill, PPE will be required. Hard hat with chin strap, glasses, yellow reflective coat, long pants, closed-toed shoes, and hearing protection. As a visitor, you may not be familiar with the steps involved in making and rolling steel. However, every visitor should have a basic understanding of the entire steelmaking process to fully understand and appreciate your tour. The process starts in the scrapyard, where various types of scrap are brought into the mill by trucks and rail cars. Loads of scrap are brought into the yard and then sorted by type and size. The scrap is loaded into large charge buckets that are used to transport it to the melt shop. After the charge bucket is loaded, it is transported to the melt shop on a rail car. Then, an overhead crane machine picks up the bucket and moves it to the electric arc furnace for charging. The charge bucket has doors on the bottom that open to allow the scrap to drop into the furnace. Charging the furnace results in a brief release of fire and sparks due to the fact that there is always a small amount of liquid steel left in the bottom of the vessel after tapping. After charging, the scrap is melted in the furnace using electricity that enters the furnace via carbon and graphite electrodes. Modern electric arc furnaces use 1 to 3 electrodes to melt the steel. The melting steel is continuously monitored to determine its temperature and sampled to assure its quality. The sample is tested in our lab using sophisticated laboratory equipment. Slag forms in the furnace during the melting cycle. Slag is composed of impurities from the steel and lime that is added as a flexing agent. The slag is poured off prior to tapping. During tapping, the liquid steel is poured from the furnace into a ladle that will transport the steel to the next process area. The liquid steel is white hot at a temperature of more than 2,700 degrees Fahrenheit. After tapping, the full ladle of steel is then moved to the continuous 3-stand caster, where it will be converted into solid form. The steel is poured from the ladle into a brick-lined vessel called a tundish. The tundish has 3 nozzles that pour a stream of steel into copper-lined, water-cooled molds that cool the steel and shape it into a long ribbon of steel. The steel is still glowing red as it comes out of the caster. Hot saws then cut the ribbon of steel into sections that are called billets. The billets are conveyed to either the reheat furnace to facilitate the rolling process or the cooling bed, where they are cooled until further processing. Gerdau Special Steel North America at Fort Smith has an automated rolling mill. The rolling process starts at the reheat furnace, where the billets are heated to 2,150 degrees Fahrenheit. They then pass through the rolling stands to form our vast product range. After rolling, the bars are conveyed to the mill saws, where they are cut to the desired length, and then to the cooling bed, where they air cool for a specified amount of time. Once cooled, the bars are conveyed to the chamfer station, where the burrs are ground from each end of the bar. The bars are then transported to a bundling and banding machine that groups them into a bundle and bands them with steel banding to keep the bundle together for shipping. The bundles are then taken to a storage area, where they're stored until they're ready to be shipped to customers. At Gerdau Fort Smith, we produce the highest variation in grades and diameters of specialty steel bars in the United States. In addition to producing steel, there are maintenance and in-shop activities like at our roll shop that allow us to produce quality products. To ensure your safety, we ask that you pay attention to and adhere to the following policies, rules, and guidelines. First, always sign in and out with security at the guard office. To limit distractions while on the tour, we require that all smartphones and other devices be kept in your pocket during the tour. There is no photography allowed at any point without prior approval. All visible jewelry must be removed or covered before leaving the administration building and entering a work area. This includes earrings, facial piercings, necklaces, watches, and rings, including silicone or rubber rings. Additionally, to ensure the utmost safety for all employees, contractors, and visitors, possession of and/or use of any tobacco products on Gerdau property is prohibited. There is also a multitude of plant equipment such as overhead cranes, forklifts, and rail traffic that dissect our facility. You must watch for this equipment and give them the right of way during your travels through the facility. Only use authorized walkways. Do not veer from the green pathway or what we call the green mile unless guided by your tour guide to do so. Remember, never walk under suspended loads. While on the tour in the plant, stay with your guide at all times. Always use the handrails throughout the facility. If you happen to get lost, dial 0 on any plant phone to reach security. The safety department can be reached at 5503, 5504, or 5509, and security can be reached at 5590. Additionally, report any suspicious activity or safety concerns to your guide. There are severe weather shelters located throughout the facility. In the case of severe weather, use the closest shelter to your location, denoted by these signs. In the case of a plant evacuation, follow your tour guide to the nearest assembly point. In the case of a medical emergency or fire, dial 5590 for security. Gerdau has first responders and an EMT on site around the clock. Our hope is that you will enjoy a productive, rewarding, and safe visit at Gerdau Fort Smith. Our mill is one of the most modern in the nation, and we're pleased to have you as a visitor.